Okay, what if you could know where the stock market was heading before it actually moved? I mean, really know. That is the huge, bold promise of a company called MoneyChoice. They're out here claiming to have quantum-powered technology that can basically see the future of your investments. So, is this a total revolution in trading, or is it just some really clever marketing? Let's dig in and find out.
Look, every single one of us who invests, whether you're a Wall Street pro or just getting started, we're all fighting the same invisible enemy. It's called inflation. That dollar you have in your pocket, it's worth less today than it was yesterday, and it's going to be worth even less tomorrow. This quiet, constant decay in your money's value is the real reason why just stashing cash in a savings account isn't going to cut it. You have to find a way to make it grow.
And inflation, that's just the start of it. The market itself often feels like this unpredictable beast, you know? It's a chaotic tangle of data, and it really seems like the big institutions hold all the cards. For the average person trying to find a real lasting edge in all that chaos, it can feel next to impossible.
So this leads to a really powerful question. What if there were tools that could actually level that playing field? What if the same kind of analytical firepower that massive hedge funds use was available to you, right there on your phone?
And that is exactly the space that MoneyChoice is stepping into. They don't just position themselves as another trading app. No, they see themselves as a provider of tools for financial independence, promising a real solution to these exact challenges.
Their platform really makes three core promises. First, it's designed to both protect and grow your portfolio. Second, they claim it works no matter what the market is doing, whether it's a bull or a bear market. And third, it's supposedly built to handle those totally unpredictable black swan events that can just wipe investors out.
And this quote? This is the heart of their entire pitch. MoneyChoice draws a big line in the sand. They say that traditional AI is just looking in the rearview mirror, analyzing what's already happened. But their quantum-powered tech, they claim it's more like a crystal ball. It's designed to be predictive, to see what's coming next. Okay, so what is this secret sauce they're talking about? Let's pop the hood on this prediction engine and see what's supposed to make it all tick.
So the main idea is something they call quantum analytics. Now, let's be super clear here. This doesn't necessarily mean they're using actual quantum computers. It's more of an analogy. Their theory is that stock prices, even though they seem totally random, are always being pulled toward these predictable price levels, kind of like how an electron is pulled into a stable orbit around a nucleus. Their algorithms are built to find and predict where those magnetic price levels are.
And this really gets to the core of what they claim is so different. Think about a standard indicator on a stock chart. It only tells you where the price has been. It's reactive. MoneyChoice argues their indicators, which they call IQs, are forward-looking. They're designed to predict where the price should go from here. Their system actually combines 7 of these predictive IQs. You can think of each one as a different specialist on a team. For instance, the crowd psychology IQ is trying to measure market fear and greed, while the insider IQ is tracking what the company executives are doing with their own stock. By putting all these different views together, from news sentiment to the flow of smart money, the system tries to build a complete picture of where a stock might go next. But the story behind this technology is just as important as the tech itself. MoneyChoice frames its origin as a classic David versus Goliath tale, and it all revolves around a massive $150 million decision. The story actually starts back in 2009 with a company called Tino IQ. They spent years developing this tech, and by 2016, they were claiming a pretty incredible 80+% accuracy rate. Well, that caught the attention of some big players, which led to a $150 million deal in 2018. But then the story takes a sharp turn. After some alleged hacking attempts, the app was shut down, only to be bought and relaunched by MoneyChoice. And this is the pivotal moment in their whole story. They claimed they had a signed $150 million contract sitting on the table, but they walked away. And the reason they give? They say the big banks wanted to hoard this technology for themselves. So instead, they chose a totally different path, to put that exact same power directly into the hands of regular, individual traders. So, that's the powerful backstory. But what does it actually look like in practice? Let's take a look inside the app and see how these tools are actually put to work for a user.
All right, the heart and soul of the app is the daily predictions feature. Every day, the system serves up a very specific trade idea. And we're not talking about some vague tip. It gives you a stock, a target price, and even a stated probability of success. The whole goal is to make the trading decision as simple and as data-driven as possible. And for anyone who prefers a completely hands-off, set-it-and-forget-it approach, there's the auto trading fund. This is where you literally let the algorithm take the wheel. It picks the stocks, it places the trades, and it manages the risk, all automatically, based on its own predictions.
And looking even further down the road, they're exploring some pretty futuristic concepts, like voice-based investing. I mean, imagine asking your smart speaker, hey, what's a good stock to buy today? And having it not only give you a prediction, but then execute the trade for you instantly. That's the kind of seamless experience they're shooting for.
Of course, a compelling story and a slick-looking app, that's one thing. But with claims this big, it all comes down to one simple question. Does it actually work? Let's look at the numbers and the proof they offer to back all this up. The single biggest number they point to is this one, an 80+% prediction accuracy rate. And they're claiming this isn't some recent hot streak. They say they've maintained this level of accuracy consistently, year after year since 2016. And here's some of the data they use to back that 80% claim up. The chart over on the left shows their quarterly accuracy, and you can see it's consistently hovering in the high 80s. Even more impressively, the graph on the right shows their algorithm's performance compared to the S&P 500, suggesting it has significantly outperformed the market benchmark.
They also like to highlight these specific case studies where they claim to have detected artificial manipulation. For example, with RRC stock, they say they flagged a 40% profit opportunity just before the stock tanked. The Yelp example, though, this one is a bit of a head-scratcher. Their own materials say they predicted a 40% gain, but then the stock dropped 40%. Now, it's not really clear if they're trying to show this as a successful prediction of major volatility, or if it was just a flat-out incorrect call. That lack of clarity is definitely a bit of a red flag for any potential user.
And finally, they present the whole user experience as a really simple 4-step process. You sign up for free, and you get a couple of daily predictions to check out. If you like what you see, you can go and execute those trades on your own brokerage platform. And then you track your performance right inside their app. They claim the whole process is fully transparent. Which leaves us with this final, really fascinating question. Is a service like this truly the democratization of elite finance? Is it putting real institutional-grade power into the hands of individual investors? Or is it just a new, more complicated kind of black box, one that's just as hard to understand as the market itself? That's something to think about.